It's time for the final. Griffin Colapinto taking on Houshmand. Two good friends, two guys from San Clemente, California, going head-to-head for the first time in Brazil. Second time we've seen this as a final at the championship tour level. It was Cole's rookie year. He beat Griff at Bells. Let's see who's going to do it in her final rematch a year later, this time in the beautiful beach breaks of Saquarema. Regular versus Goofy, exciting times in the final. Joe Turpel with Mitchell Salazar and Jesse Mendez here for the call. Mitch, this is a really fun one for a lot of reasons to unpack this one, starting with Cole. How has he gotten this far in this event?
Well, I mean, he's done it both equally on the red and on the left, but multiple great results already for Houshmand this season. But you just talk about power v power right here in Saquarema. He loves this wave at Itaúna. When he qualified for the World Championship Tour back in 2023, he had already done his job up until this point. Came to the event, participated, did well enough, and first final appearance this season, he's looked incredible so far at this event.
Third place in El Salvador, then was able to make the quarterfinals on his home break, even eliminated world number one Jordy Smith, focusing on the lowers left, and there's been some fun laps. We saw Molly Picklum win the final on the left on this lower side, but he's taken on Griff, and Griff's had a special part of his season, Jesse.
I mean, Griff is on an uphill right now. So is Cole as well. Both of them, obviously, an incredible year. But, man, Griffin on that semifinals kind of went to town. For me, the best surfing we've seen it so far in this event. So it's going to be a great match. And also for Cole, you kind of have to outdone his hero. He's done it once. Let's see if he can do it twice.
Griff did get started during the break, Mitch.
Yeah, and as Jesse was touching on, I mean, the consistency that we've seen from Griffin has been impeccable the last three events. But in all honesty, Joe, this is the best backhand surfing I've seen from him ever, and he won in Fiji last year, remember? So going left right here, especially going power v power against Houshmand, pretty big deal if you consider Griffin's year so far.
What do you like calling those, Jesse? Like little backside disasters? I mean, you're
Pretty
playing
much
with the lip like a skater could just slide on the coping. And we reference coping a lot. It's a skate term where you have a real hard lip line to project against. And Griffin's been playing with it all day, especially when that could be a dangerous turn at Saquarema.
For me, I mean, not just the fact that it's a dangerous turn, but in the conditions that we have on offer with this backwash, that turn itself, it's very hard to do.
Yeah.
But with this kind of wonky lip, it's even harder. And the way he's being able to approach the lip that way is really impressive.
Little wedge popping up for Griff. I thought he was going to chuck it into the flat.
So did I, and we saw one of those errors the other day, right? As soon as the heat started, he was able to get a 6. Here's Houshi, though, Joe.
6'3", 225, connects with the lip. Number 91 blows the back out.
Ooh.
And now into his third move. It's another solid snap to slide. He wants to get the crowd behind him.
Oh, man.
That was a big blow for Houshmand. 3 big targets. Crushed them all.
And he switched boards earlier today, too. He was riding the other F1, which was with the Brazilian EPS epoxy. This is just incredible. You talk about timing, Jesse. That second one was monumental.
Are you kidding me? That, like, the amount of water displayed and how much control he had over the tail and the fins of the board in the last 2 turns. You can see it here going eyeing it down that second section, which is the money part of the wave, pushing that back foot so gnarly. And you can see it once again getting that fins out the back. I mean, this looks excellent for me.
Just look at how critical every single time this turn is when he goes up into the lip, Joe. I mean, timing, power, and of course precision. But another thing to really notice on this wave here, especially on the second turn, there's a lot of froth on that face. So to be able to control your board and fins coming out of that turn is extremely difficult.
Just that he creates time for himself,
right?
Doesn't he? He like could kind of stand up and wait, you know? It's like he's controlling the rhythm. You know, it's bending to where he wants to go. And then when he lights up the section, it's huge. I mean, throwing that kind of water, Jesse.
I mean, Griffin should be in trouble with this wave right now. I mean, with 40 minutes on the clock, obviously, when we started this heat, we expect those guys go excellent for the type of surf they've been doing. But I personally think that early, you know, right off the bat, really cold, started that hard. I hope Griffin just, you know, answers to the match and goes huge as well.
Houshmand starting his surfing life in a great way in Southern California. Mitch freaking out because he just got a sneak preview of the score before you guys did. It's a 9.4 for 3 giant blows on the left. Houshmand making a statement on his second look in this heat. 0.3 start, 9.4. Colapinto had the 6.17. So now Griffin will be really inspired to answer back, Mitch.
So what is it about Cole Houshmand that as soon as he touches the water for a final, he just becomes exponentially better than everybody else?
It's a different thing. We talked about guys that are better closers than others. Sometimes the final just slips away from you. Seems like Cole, it brings out his best. Let's check in with Strider.
Thank you, Joe. Yeah, just down on the beach, reactions to that situation. That was, I mean, from the beach, the hammers that Cole was throwing down. I knew it was going to go excellent. I didn't know it was going to go up into the nines. That was insane. And, well, every bit worthy of it, though. Just a little insight, the pre-heat warm-up. We had Cole jumping around in the quiet zone in the Red Bull athlete area, doing stretches and getting everything moving and just getting his whole psyche going, looking like Dennis Rodman. And right behind him was Griffin Colapinto back there meditating with a coconut next to him. I mean, and his headphones and his glasses on, but it's just completely different warm-ups, completely different humans, but both have been finding success. So really fun to see those two guys and what they did before they got in the water. Let's see how that thing plays out between the two. I can't wait to see the rest of it.
It's a solid breakdown, Strider. Yeah, two different ways to prepare for a final and two best friends hanging out together. This is a pinch yourself type moment for these two kids that grew up together surfing T Street and lowers, winning their national titles. They're always meant to be here, and they're feeding off each other. As we look at the event's top scores, Cole Houshmand, 9.4 we just saw go down, is the best number we've seen of the event. And he had his 8.67 earlier, two of the top four, and he's still heating up.
And gotta point something out over here with my brother Jose Mendez. All four, Carnalito, have come from Goofy Footer so far.
There you go.
So, Joe, we're going places finally.
Pada bench. 30-10.
You're not that proud of that one.
I know. He played it down.
I got a lot of love for the Goofies.
I know you do.
Cole Houshmand, what a job he's done in a couple of years. Let's get another angle of this one, Jesse.
I mean, this second turn sets up beautifully on the first one with lots of power, but this is money right there. The power and release, comboing it up, and then finish it off solid on his foot. I mean, you can't go wrong. You can't, this is excellent, easy on my eyes.
And then the element of speed for a guy that big is just radical, especially when it comes to the timing, Joe. It seems like every single turn gets better and more efficient for the section too, but that's a big boy right there. Going around a big carcass like that ain't easy, especially going that fast down the line. So props to him. He's in control of the heat so far, and he gets anything above a 4 or a 5, Griff's going to be in a real big amount of trouble here.
You know, it's a lot on the line for Griff as well, who, wouldn't be satisfied with the season if he didn't get a chance to compete at Cloud Break, to try to get in the final 5 after 2 years where he finished 3rd in the world. With all that energy on his shoulders of trying to get the world title on his home break. It was a song we were singing on the lead up going, man, maybe this could happen for a Californian, to win at home. And he got close, obviously being there. But winning Cloud Break last year as a regular season event as we were welcoming back Fiji and then getting it bumped up to a world title event, for Griffin, he's like, I have to be there. And he's got to be brilliant for the rest of the season. Cole enjoying the left again. He's on the giddy up, and he ends up just kicking out of a close zone. He's gone for some big airs as well throughout this event, Mitch. So he's got some different weapons to shoot for. We saw what he did to Jake Marshall as well when he adapted, went right for his best score. Yeah,
no, and 100%. And that's, I'd actually have to say, his best surfing really going right. And that's incredible to say, knowing how good he's been so far going left. The last 2 events over there at Lowers, as you said, knocking out Jordy Smith in the draw, who was still world #1. And right now, the thing for Houshi, yeah, it's a long shot that you do make a run for the final 5. It's not impossible, though. You get 2 wins out of the next 3 events. There's a possibility that. And here's another thing, too. For a goofy footer his size, going into Fiji, I'm talking world championship potential right there, too, Joe.
Yeah, it's a big point. Obviously, advantage of having a wave on your front side. And then Griffin kind of shows why he might want more lefts on tour as well from some of those crazy backside fin throws he's been throwing down in this event and even just on finals day, getting past Ethan Ewing, going for broke in the air, getting past huge names like Joao Chianca in the elimination round. You know, like Griffin's really stepped up at this event. Never been in a final here. And whatever that magic where he turned around his season's happening, it's still with him. Really strong right now, Jesse.
I mean, it always is, and that's what you expect from the best in the world. But guys, looking at this heat with 27 minutes left right now, like obviously 2 different paths. You see one with the backup score and the other one with an amazing 9.4. So one of them kind of looking for that backup with a little bit of sense of urgency because you don't want to let time go by and you're 5 minutes left needing a 6-point ride. And the other one with a very clear path in his head. I need to sit, be patient, and pull the trigger on the best wave of the heat right now because he's going to expect Cole to better his situation without a doubt, with probably something in the average range in the next few minutes. So just got to make sure, obviously way tougher task for Griffin to keep composed and pull the trigger and let kind of Cole surf his way out and just get an excellent score as soon as he can, as soon as possible when he has the opportunity.
Great angle from the sky of just seeing how much movement, a variety of movement you could get out here in our lineup. Cole was like trying to identify a wedge there, just went underneath him.
It's so crazy how that's changed within 2 days. Yesterday during the practice session, there were a ton of wedges, but I mean today, especially with the tide coming up right now, you can really notice it. But in the end, these 2 guys come from maybe the most high-performance wave in the world at lower trestles. They grew up surfing T Street. They grew up surfing Rivies. And, of course, Huntington Beach Pier, too. They're no slouches when it comes to beach breaks, Joe.
Here's one right here for Cole. Big rail hook. Perfect. Second turn. Throws some water. That was a small pocket. And that wave's just going to go flat on him.
And that's the sense of urgency that I was saying. Like, it's not that he's freaking out, but he just knows the importance of getting a 4.5 or a 5-point ride. He'll never pull the trigger with priority or maybe as his first wave of the heat, you know, in a finals day, in a finals match, sorry. So this wave's smaller, but he kind of has to, you know, apply pressure to Griffin and come back out and then put on the anchor and get another high score.
It is an astute move, though, Joe. You go get something in the 4 or 5s, as Jesse's saying. Now Griffin's searching for a completely different wave out there, right? So 25 minutes, it's not out of the realm of possibility, but you still got to be looking for something to at least match one of the 8s in this heat.
That was big. Cole Houshmand, 9.4, then to a 5.17, 14.57 combined total with all the time in the world as he's enjoying that Red Bull ski. It's been a long time since we haven't had a Brazilian in the final. You know, you go back all the way to John Florence winning over Jack Freestone in 2016. Since then, it's just been Brazilian dominance, that changing this year. But standout performer for sure, Miguel Pupo, as we get a chance to hear from a champion. Molly Picklum is on the glass with Rachel.
Guys, I'm here with the 2025 winner of the VIVO Rio Pro presented by Corona Cero, Molly Picklum. What are the emotions now?
Oh, I've worked so hard this year to really put my best foot forwards, and actually before I was going out I was like, felt nearly emotional because I was just like, okay, I get another chance, you know, to try and get a victory. I've dreamt so much of like winning here in Rio too. I'm like a real energetic person. I love the Brazilian energy, and to get a win this year means so much for sure.
And even going against Luana, that is a favorite from the crowd, but you are also very loved for the crowd. But this makes it even more challenging for you.
Yeah, for sure. Luana's definitely the favorite, and so she should be. She's been surfing so well, and I knew she's such a competitor and she's such a fighter, and I was pretty scared even all the way till the end, even though I had a couple good scores. But yeah, she's capable of great things, and I'm so happy to get that one over it.
But this is a great moment for you. Good luck. You're going with the yellow jersey to J-Bay, so it's going to be amazing. Thank you very much, and go celebrate.
Yeah, thank you so much, and shout out to everyone back at home. I know you're all probably up watching, and I felt all the love. I actually ran in and started calling my family straight away because I just like wanted to share it with the people I love and the people that have supported me through the entire time. So yeah, big love to you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rachel. Congrats once again to Molly Picklum, world #1 heading into Jeffreys Bay. As we think about the final 5, it's Molly #1, Gabby 2, Katie's now 3rd in the world, and Betty Lou and Isabella Nichols didn't move on their spot, still 4th and 5th, heading into the next stop of the tour, which is stop 10 out of 11 regular season events. During that catch-up with Molly, we had a couple of waves ridden, Cole Houshmand finding a left, and Griffin had a chance to ramp up. This time not coming down with it.
Yeah, unfortunate, an unforced error right there by Colapinto, but it was really the only adjustment he could have made on that wave, right? I mean, there wasn't any other section on offer, had to go for it, and, you know, just for him, really looking for the 8.41 without looking at Houshie's wave, but seemed like the appropriate maneuver for the section, Jess.
No doubt about it. Just sometimes you get caught in this positioning on the air reverse where you transfer a little bit too much. Your angle on top of the board transfer a little bit too much weight to the front foot, and you're going to see it right there. He's very bent as we see it, so it's just kind of gets your back foot in a weird spot, and you can't really, you can't really ungroup. And Houshmand taking advantage of this insider and kind of going to town.
Yeah, he could improve on the 5.17 as well. Gets a little hung up coming out of this turn, but there's a lot of progression in that, Joe. I mean, pretty sick and filthy when you consider the section coming at you too. So bigger wave in comparison to the 5.17, and you know, I feel like there's a possibility that he does improve on his mid-range score that he has as backup at the moment.
He has so much range with where he can go with these turns. He can cut it short. He can lean back to put a heavy back foot into it, and then he can release it like a little Corey Lopez slide. I mean, he can go everywhere, Jesse.
I mean, it's, the guy, and he does all of that with 220 pounds on his back. So that makes everything looks that much bigger and that much more powerful. So it's very appealing to the eyes, mostly in a wave like here. We're talking about the judges watching from far because that wave kind of breaks out the back a little bit more than the usual. So there's a little bit of gap. So everything that looks bigger, it looks more appealing to the judges' eyes. That's why he's also getting rewarded very well.
It's interesting when you see a surfer that knows another surfer really well, like we're seeing now. And where Griffin...
Great point, Joe.
Has been the great surfer out of San Clemente, third in the world, the most successful. But Cole's like, I know you. You come from my same town.
Yeah.
You know, where that familiarity, it just feels like another day, where he's not daunted by, oh, that's Griff. This guy's been in the title race. It's like, he's my best friend. We go surfing all the time, and he could bring out his best against him.
You know, their weaknesses, but also their strengths. And you play to their strengths most of the time because you don't want to let them get going. You hear the 6 already, it's a trademark out of Griff, especially at this event right here, at a beach break. You respond with a 9.4. Look at where he's at right now, has improved already on his backup, and there's still 20 minutes for him to do that as well, Joe.
All USA final, all San Clemente final, and there's been some fun years for the United States here in Brazil, going back to 1980, the California kid, Joey Baran, taking out this event at the CT level. Gurr's got a win out here. When you go back to 1990, Brad Gerlach, former runner-up in the world, that's when he was really knocking on the door for a world championship. Kelly Slater winning out here in Brazil. Go back to 97 for one of his big wins. As we have waves approaching, 19:20 on the clock. Colapinto with priority, and he will load up on a double overhead section and tagging it. A huge backhand hanger. Still trying to fight for the finish.
Bring it.
Lay it low. Colapinto gets it.
Wow, dude, what a final we have on our hands. What a final we have on our hands right here.
That was a gigantic section. Griffin had so much time to load up for it. And there was a lot of currents and ribs that were trying to take him down, but he got it.
Are you kidding me? I was looking at the screen, and I was wondering why he was taking so long on that bottom turn, because he was just going for the Hail Mary one turn. And for what we've seen it so far, this has to be a massive score.
Yeah.
Enormous backside turn from Griffin Colapinto on one of the bigger faces we've had all day.
What is it, double overhead on this wave right here? And I know it takes him a little while to ride out of it, but you can't argue about commitment right here.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, yeah.
At this point, it doesn't. That wave's huge. This might be the biggest wave we've seen ridden in the 4 years that we've had this event, you know, since its return. And, I mean, we talk about critical surfing, especially at the right point of the heat, Joe. That's it right there.
Look at that extended bottom turn. That's what set him up for success. Takes his time so long. Like, he probably covered a bit of like 10 yards on that bottom turn and gets that beautiful blowtail that we were talking about. It gets hanged up in a good way out the back, lands with the lip, and then you can see he kind of stays low to make sure the whitewash is pushing him, because at this point there's nothing he can do. It's almost like flipping the coin. It's a 50-50 he can land it or not.
Staying so low and compressed. He knew he wasn't safe yet. There's nothing that was going to pull him off his board. And during that exchange, Cole got this wave, Mitch.
Yeah, still looking to improve on the 5.33. Beautiful execution of the first turn, and the second one, not bad either. what an incredible display of surfing we have between two of the greatest surfers on the planet at the moment. And if people are, disputing that California needs a world champion at the moment, well, might have one out of this heat right here.
What a great read from Cole. What'd you see, Jesse?
I mean, just tight in the pocket right there, that beautiful layback. Uses the backhand to kind of give him a good angle and a good approach to it. Second turn solid as well. The only downside of this, a little bit lateral, in my opinion, but still going to be a massive score, the combination of two major maneuvers out the back, and in consideration of what we've seen already from the 617 of Griffin.
California world titles go to Tom Curran, three-time world champ, one of the best ever, inspiring generation, still inspiring the best, not just from California, but on this wonderful planet. Numbers are coming in from a brilliant exchange in the final. Cole Houshmand, 7.17. Griffin, one turn, 8.23. Griffin, with priority, now needs an 8.35, 16:20 to go.
So those small paddles at this moment of the heat, 16 minutes to go, you got to be very cautious of priority, making sure that every time you actually do commit to a paddle, you got to be going and enforcing your position in the lineup. 8.23, great score. Personally felt it was going to go a bit higher just due to the consequence of the section, but all in all, look at the numbers. I mean, this is an incredible heat. Might be the best final we've seen all year long outside of pipe, Joe.
16.57 combined total for Cole Houshmand. Looking for his second CT victory. Both finals he's had in his career against Griffin Colapinto. That was a 7.17. Fun left, two turns, but had a better wall than his last two tries.
Yeah, and I just want to mention the clutchness of that 7.17. Perfect timing, because when things started to look like it was like going towards Griffin's way, and Griffin was apply pressure and come back with a good like mojo to the lineup.
Yep.
Cole was like, let me just better my situation right now, my 5.33, and he actually better with a very decent score of almost 2 points in front of what he had already. So Griffin comes back to the lineup, still needing an excellent score.
Cole Houshmand looking at his Apple Watch, seeing that he's got 15 minutes on the clock with one of his best friends on tour. Let's see who's going to come out on top. So far, the Goofy is absolutely ripping. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the VIVO Rio Pro. We're down here on the beach with the My Terra Surf Report, the conditions report. It is 4 to 6, light side offshore, and super fun. Guys are dropping hammers, and the crowd out here, well, as you can see, it's beautiful, it's fun. They're enjoying their time down here, and they're not going to stop. This is going to go all the way till the sun sets. Out the back, Griff, lighten it up. Let's go.
Let's go. Big thanks to Strider for the My Terra surf conditions. As we know, the crowd is a part of the surf conditions at this event, and they're loving what Griff's doing now. And that's what you do love about the passion. When they have a Brazilian in the water, they're rooting for them. Once the Brazilian's not there, they're a fan of pro surfing and giving Griff and Cole a lot of love here as we look at this wave from start to finish, Mitch.
Yeah, no, I mean, Griff's just been amazing with priority, and just unfortunately for him with this requirement that he needs right now, I feel like he needs a little bit of a better wave. He couldn't have surfed it any better than that. But I mean, in the end, that'll improve with the 6.17. It's not going to be the 8 that he needs, though.
Yeah, the surfing is on point. Like you mentioned, Mitch, there's nothing better he could have done with this wave, mostly with his next turn coming up. Like, the wave's gutless. Doesn't even have any lip. He just kind of uses his ability in the backwash to kind of get a good whip. But, yeah, the judges are taking notice of every element, not just the surfing, but how critical the wave is and how big the wave is and how much power there's involved. So it's going to keep the score low.
One of the best on rail in surfing history. Taylor Knox got a win in Brazil back in 1996. But it's been a while since we've had a final like this. Two guys from the same town growing up together, trying to win this thing. Yeah, for Griffin, it hasn't been an easy event. For him, he's had some early round losses, second round, third round for several years. Last year he springboarded to the semis, but it hadn't been the best for him in his title race campaigns in the past.
Yeah, and considering the beach break, how much it changes, I would have thought the numbers would have been more in his favor personally. But yeah, as you said, bounced back last year, semifinal, made a push to the WSL finals. But more importantly, where he's at right now in his career, everybody wants him to make the push for the World Championship for the first time. So Joe, at this moment, after the poor start at the beginning of the season, now bouncing back in a huge way It's your second final in third events, and you're coming off of a semifinal at home too. You got to be very proud of yourself and give yourself a pat on the back too.
Yeah, we've had some crazy kind of back half momentum shifts in the last handful of years. I mean, Medina was kind of famous for it. He would kind of catch fire late. You know, he'd sort of have a long off season and just, he's like, yeah, now, you know, I'm getting into gear, and he would just blitz the back end and sometimes win a world title or finish runner up. Griff finding a little right to chip into. It's starting to grow in size in front of him. Almost thought he was going to get barreled, and ends up just being a throwaway.
Yeah, seemed that way from the get-go, but unfortunately for him, that wave not going to add anything else to his scoreline. And another cool thing to point out, too, is that for Cole Houshmand, he's always going up against guys that are usually older than him. He's still one of the Groms in the pack when you consider it. What is he, Joe? 23, 24 years of age right now, born in 2000s. It's incredible to not only realize that a lot of these guys are still developing themselves while being on tour, having qualified so young, but now going up against guys that have been 7 years, 8 years on tour even.
Yeah, he feels like he just got the playbook very quick. Ever since he won back-to-back events on the CS to qualify, winning the Challenger Series, it's just been lights out from Cole. This is how the year started. Mamiya went back-to-back, won the tiebreak over Leo at Pipe. Italo stole the show in Abu Dhabi in the final with Rio Waida. And we saw Dora take out Italo in Portugal. It was the first time Iago got a win in the first half of the season. And then it was the rise of Jordy Smith, his first win in 8 years. Ever in El Salvador, an all-South African final. Jack won the bell in his first appearance in the final over Kanoa. Then Felipe's comeback to the tour was sweet on the Gold Coast. Had an old rival with Julian Wilson in the final at Burley. And then Jordy accomplished something he's never done in his career. 2 wins in the same season as he beat Griff at Margaret River. And then Iago, just unbelievable form at lowers. Cole on the left out front, lanes back, blows the board out the back. And he has just been glued to that mayhem. Going for anything he wants on this left, just pretending that he's back at home at lowers. And now Griff's got a bouncy right, but he's got a big ramp, shooting for the sky. Big slop, full road, incomplete.
They're putting on a show.
Yeah,
We're stoked to be here watching because they're going as hard as you can.
About to have a heart attack over here.
Yeah, I'm gonna catch my breath. Everyone do the same. We still got 8 minutes of this. How lucky are we?
It's amazing. Cole Houshmand is just surfing on another level, but I like this approach from Griff. At this point, it's probably the only way you're winning the final right here. And how about the late grab edition, too? That would have been sick if he rides out of it.
I mean, he would have been looking at an excellent score, no doubt about it. A lot of height. That front foot comes off, so he uses that front hand, like you mentioned, as a slaw bear to kind of put himself back in place, but just kind of landing on the wrong timing.
And then Cole on the left again here, Mitch.
This is just outstanding, and that takes a lot of core strength. Chris and I were joking a while ago, that's why you do sit-ups right there. But you talk about somebody who just executes the perfect maneuver in the right place. Oh, boy.
And I think what's very impressive about him is just like the heat IQ that he brings it to the table. He notices, okay, first snap, nice, but nothing critical. I need to go massive here in order to better the 717. Look at the extension, pushes that back foot so hard, so much power, but you need to transfer the weight forward in order to regain composure. He does that perfectly. That was massive from Cole Houshmand.
Every turn is an individual major, but he combos it up with variety as well, where he's just firing at all cylinders. A different type of surfing that he's taken to the championship tour. Smooth, big, goofy footer. That's got a lot of range. That last score will improve his low score to a 7.5. Griff now needs an 8.68.
So still time, just under 7 minutes. You know, they're matched in terms of how many waves they both caught, 7 waves each. Goes to indicate how much consistency we've had in the final, gentlemen, but right here, I feel like it's time for Cole just to take a step back. Be a bit more selective, use priority in his way, and force Griffin to make a mistake.
Because even though he smashed that wave and better his situation, which in the end, yeah, it could be like a tough situation, a split situation, but for Griffin, he's still looking for the same wave. You can't really identify and break it apart. An 8.4 that he needed to an 8.68. So for Griffin, he's still the same. For Cole, a slight better, but I don't think he should be surfing so much anymore. He should just be kind of, playing defense and not give opportunity to a guy like Griffin.
Waves are starting to pulse out the back here at Saquarema. The crowd is glued to the action. Colapinto, without priority, took a glance. His younger brother Crosby's watching, obviously friends with both these guys. Cole's starting to move towards this right-hander, and he'll just be watching Griff to see if he wants it. Cole does turn to use priority to take Griff off this wave. He's starting to stall, now loading up. Houshmand sees the ramp, ends up flying to the sky. These guys are going for it. For Cole, he wasn't just playing defense. He wanted to get rid of that 7.5. Griff's turn. Patience, and he'll step off. Down to 5:14 on the clock. Griff looking for his first win this season. Came close at Margaret River, runner up to Jordy. Had to get past Jordy in this one, as Smith's had a lot more wins over Griff in their one-on-one history.
And just a little add up, like as much as he got a 0.9 on that last wave, if I personally, me being Cole, I would minimize any opportunity or any possibility of Griffin having a ramp on a right. So I think he did very well to actually block him. Hey, now the ball's in your corner, the pressure's in your corner. You have to figure it out which wave that looks like it's 8.68 and the pressure's on you. Not having the freedom of just like, you know, putting himself in a bunch of chances of doing a massive punt, which he's done it before this year and got 10s in Margaret River, and the list goes on.
These guys going blow for blow. 8 waves ridden apiece. Natura kayak recap. Cole Houshmand obliterating the left.
Definitely, and you know, his best surfing definitely getting saved for last, which is saying a lot considering how well he has surfed throughout the entirety of the event. But at this moment, he hasn't lost a single heat here in Rio. Meanwhile, Griffin, he responded with an 8.23, perhaps the biggest wave we've seen in 4 to 5 years of this event.
That was psycho. Like the way he landed and how he kept himself composed, he should be proud of that.
That was gigantic. Not just hit the lip, blew the tail out. And then Cole just kept freestyling. He's actually throwing away a 7.17 and then built to a 7.5 on his 7th ride.
He's improved his backup score 3 separate times within the final, which is outstanding, obviously, going up against a veteran like Griffin. But right now, 3 minutes 30, it's anybody's ball game at the moment, with priority being in Colapinto's corner, Joe.
3:25 to go. The highlighted yellow scores are the keepers. They just keep their top 2. And right now, top 2 for Cole, 9.4, 7.5. Griffin still keeping his start, the 6.17. But then that single maneuver backside hammer on a closeout bomb, that was the 8.23. That's kept him in this final. Griff will have priority. Cole's going to be right behind him, and he'll be comfortable with that. These two sit next to each other all the time, and they got a game plan at lowers. Cole goes left, Griff goes right. See it all the time. This time it's just a final here at Itaúna with 10,000 points, $100,000 on the line.
Well, now, sorry, Jess, the question begs, who makes the run for the World Championship and who becomes the first Californian World Champ since Tom Curran in 91? Because to me, it's still an astonishing fact. It hasn't been a Californian World Champion in 34 years.
It's a big topic, and Griffin, you know, has definitely been the closest to achieve that in the last 2 seasons, finishing 3rd in the world. Gurr got close, runner-up in the world back in the early 90s. Shane Beshin, one of the best ever to come out of San Clemente. We're actually talking about those big backside disaster type turns. I think Shane was on a trip with Andy, and they started calling him that when they had a boat trip together. Yeah, Shane would be proud of these two at the moment, representing not just California, but the great town of San Clemente. We get to see Cole's dad around some of the events. He actually has a great soccer background as an athlete. Wasn't a surfer, but spends a little time in the water these days. Got Cole in the water at Doheny to ride his first couple rides of his life, and Cole just absolutely loved it. Where Griffin's family surfs, Mitch, we saw him, you know, on the job as a lifeguard during the lowers event. His uncle as well. They got a little surf camp that Griffin always loved to show off for all the campers learning to surf as this little super phenom kid. Always dreaming of being in the final like this. He's got a minute 15 with priority. Griff chasing an 8.68 in their rematch from Bell's last season. But looks like Griff brings the best out of Cole Houshmand, doesn't he?
What do you think, Jess? Forcing him to go left or forcing him to go right? Any preference right here?
Oh, I think Griffin has to go right and go for a massive punt, or unless it's a special wave that comes one of those lefts that give him opportunity for 2 major maneuvers, you know. But his best chances now, I think, is just a punt on the right, and Chacol just go on the left. That, you know, Griffin's going right. Keeps the attention off the judges, you know, make them think twice, you know, like for 2 people in the same wave.
Ooh, might have a wave here, Joe.
30 seconds.
Ooh.
Houshmand could be in that position like Jesse's breaking down to maybe go left. It's going to drift away from him. Griffin's more in the heart of the peak here.
Ooh, wedge.
And he's not going to wait. He will wait. So that one's going to just kind of slope out underneath him. And that was a smart leave. I mean, it had to be a better wave than that.
What a final.
Let's count this one down. All San Clemente final, breaking the streak for Brazil since 2017, now belongs to USA. Cole Houshmand takes out the VIVO Rio Pro, presented by Cero, and goes 2-0 in finals over his good friend Griffin.
That should go down as one of the greatest finals ever surfed right here in Rio, too. Dual PV regular, 2 amazing friends, an amazing battle. Each one of them had an excellent score, and 9.4, I believe that is the highest score of the event, saved for the final, too, by our men's champion.
We have the saying here in Brazil that it's jogador de final, which means a finals player. Like, this guy has been to 2 finals and won both of them. So there's some people that are just born to thrive when all the spotlights are on their face.
USA crew heading down to the beach. Crosby Colapinto and Caroline Marks behind him. And now he's going to have a victory lap on the Red Bull ski to soak in this crowd and soak in one of the biggest moments of his career. Houshmand now with 2 major CT wins.
Wow, what an incredible moment for him. And, you know, riding that F1, which isn't necessarily, I would say, the most ridden board on tour either, Joe. Making Mayhem proud right there. And he rode 2 different boards today. An epoxy was actually made here in Brazil earlier, and then he transitioned into the normal PU this afternoon, and both of them seemed to work just as well.
Yeah, that board looked like magic. It just devastating to the lip line on the left and the right. He adapted well with conditions changing with the higher tide earlier this morning, and as it dropped out, it really just made that left look incredible.
Oh.
And he took advantage of it as he got his real first wipeout of the final. Cole is just going to be laughing all the way to Jeffreys Bay in a year that started off slow. Got the semifinal at Punta Roca with just solid backhand work on the point break. Mixed it up well with the best in the world on his home break. But we've learned he just lives for big moments. He wants to feel the energy of something big on the line, whether the cheers are for him or not. You know, he was born for this.
He definitely likes the spotlight, too. It doesn't seem like anything was intimidating here on finals day. And look at that reception he gets in the shoreline. Crosby, Griffin, his opponent. It's a pretty cool moment right there, Joe.
I think that hug went over the falls together.
I feel for the boys that have to carry him up the beach now.
Yeah, I think that's why they brought a lot of people. Maybe 2 on each side. That's
Yeah.
right.
It could be. Could be.
Remember the Seabass chair when he won the Triple Crown on the board? I mean, maybe something like that for
Makes
Cole.
sense. Makes sense.
Gion's like, I'll get the surfboard. No, he's signing up for it. That's a great team manager right there.
Here we go.
Gian and Cross. And with Cross on the chair, it makes sense as he's big, but this is an extension of the brotherhood, you know, for these guys that are born and raised together in San Clemente. Caroline Marks holding the mayhem. More points going to Matt Biolas.
Oh my gosh, he's like running away
They don't need it anymore either. Stop the bleeding.
Congratulations, Matt. Matt Biolas, your entire crew at Lost Surfboards. Domination the last 2 seasons, and now make it 3 seasons. We're not even done yet. And then the trophy for the CT Shaper rankings.
That's cool, though, Joe. As you said, an extension of your family right there. Having Cross, having Caroline in your corner at one of the most special moments of your life. It's awesome.
Yeah, Cole is feeling a moment that he'll never forget, and to share it with Griff again. They can't seem to avoid each other in these finals. Last year, now this year. Let's hope for many more. Cole excited Could get past the cut. He felt moments of stress in the first half. But now guns blazing.
I mean, Cole's like, bring it on. I want more finals with Griffin. I don't know if the other way around is thinking the same, but...
And look at this. The numbers coming in for finals day. So many happy people playing Alchinia. You can see the soccer balls bouncing in the distance. Eating acai. I could smell the picanha on the grill.
Oh, we're ready.
It's going to be a great rest of the afternoon as the celebrations are just about to start. And a very successful event, you know, with a lot of different types of lay days and weather. And great job to all the contest officials waiting it out to the last day. That can be stressful when we're going all in on the final day of the waiting period. And we scored conditions like that for a final. Job well done.
Yeah, no, last few hours today have been to me one of the best days ever at Saquarema. I mean, just perfect conditions. We talk about TPs, left and rights, and a lot of consistency too, guys. What an epic day. What a way to finish the event.
All these people will be hanging out through the night to be a part of the celebrations. And they'll have a completely different contrast for the best in the world heading to Jeffreys Bay for the next stop. A lot of surfers getting on flights tomorrow to get there as soon as they can to go to the best right-hand point break in the world. And that's why you love the tour so much. You got to be the best in all conditions on the planet. Let's now catch up with the champion. Cole Houshmand is with Manu.
Yeah, guys, Cole, you are the champion of VIVO Rio Pro in Saquarema. How does that feel? Congratulations.
Oh, it doesn't seem real, honestly. It's like, oh, I'm speechless, you know. I'm speechless. It's been a long year, and it's been a lot of fun. And honestly, like, I just went out there surfing with my best friend, Griffin. Like, we're just like, hey, it's like an expression session. We don't even know what we're doing. It's just like, we're just going to have fun. And I was like, let's have a good battle. And fuck, made it happen. I don't know. I'm speechless. Honestly, I freaking love this place. I love everything about it. And like, I'm just doing what I love. So.
You have some great memories here in Saquarema. Now we have one more with all this crowd yelling at you. And you're not even Brazilian, but they love you. How does that feel?
Oh, it's amazing. I mean, the fans all week, whether they love me or hate me, it's like the most passionate people in the world. And I love it, you know. I feed off it. I mean, we're competing in a stadium here. I looked in the beach and you can't even see like open space. So it's what we dream of and like what we live for. And honestly, like I couldn't imagine anything better. So
go ahead and send a message for your family, friends.
Yeah, just mom, dad, sister, everyone watching at home. Like, you know who you are that support me. They have my back all the time, even when I'm barely making heats and whatnot. So yeah, I love you guys so much. I'll see you tomorrow. Hopefully I make my flight, and yeah, we'll see how it goes tonight.
Congratulations. Enjoy. Have fun. Keep having fun. Back to you guys.
Thank you so much, Manu. Obrigado, valeu. Thank you, Cole Houshmand, for putting on quite a show on finals day, and congrats as well to Molly Pickle. And we're just getting started with the party. Coming up next, it's the Corona Cero post show led by Kaipu Guerrero. Stay tuned. We'll see you then.